This means that many of these stories exist in more than one version, and sometimes they conflict with each other. All that variation can be confusing, but it's also part of what makes Greek myths so interesting. The Greeks and the Romans. Ancient Rome, a civilization founded in what's now Italy, existed alongside ancient Greece. For part of that time, Rome conquered Greece, and the cultures of the two overlapped and mixed. Ancient Romans worshipped gods and goddesses, who were very similar to some of the major gods and goddesses of ancient Greece. So many scholars think that the Romans combined Greek religion with their own traditions to create similar but different myths. For instance, many of the stories about the Roman goddess Minerva closely match those of the Greek goddess Athena. You'll find the Roman names of all the Olympian gods and goddesses listed in their profiles. Storytellers to know. Our understanding of Greek myths today relies on a number of different sources. Here are a few of the poets and writers whose work played an especially big role in passing these stories along. Homer, a Greek poet who lived in the 8th century BCE. He is usually acknowledged as the author of the Iliad and the Odyssey, two long poems that contain many of the major stories of Greek mythology. Hesiod, a Greek poet who probably lived around the same time as Homer. His poem, Theogony, which literally means birth of the gods, tells the story of how the Greek gods and goddesses came into existence. Aeschylus, Euripides, and Sophocles, three Greek playwrights who lived in the 5th century BCE. Their plays told the stories of several Greek tragedies. Here are a few of their most famous works. Aeschylus' The Oresteia tells the story of the family of Agamemnon, a commander of the Trojan War. Medea, by Euripides, is about the hero Jason and his wife, a witch named Medea. Sophocles wrote 3 plays, known as the Theban plays, which are all about a cursed king named Oedipus and his family. The first and most famous one is called Oedipus Rex. Virgil, a Roman poet who lived in the 1st century BCE. His most famous work is the Aeneid, an epic poem about what happened after the Trojan War. Ovid, a Roman poet who was born in 43 BCE. His work retells many Greek myths and is one example of how they came to be combined with Roman literature. Ovid's most famous work is the Metamorphoses. Pronunciation Guide. It can be tricky to pronounce names in Greek mythology, and even experts disagree about how to say some of them. The way that we say the names in English is often different from how people in ancient Greece and in present-day Greece would say them. There's no one right way to pronounce the names of the characters in this book. Still, most of the names you'll read here do have common pronunciations that most English-speaking people use today. You'll find those pronunciations listed at the start of each character's entry in this book, and this guide explains how to read them. The letters and letter combinations in the pronunciations each correspond to one specific sound, so that you can tell for sure how to say the name. For example, when you see an A on its own, you'll know that it's always supposed to sound like the A in after. If you see AI together, you'll know it's supposed to sound like the A in care. The list below includes all of the letters and letter combinations that you'll see in the pronunciations. When you're reading the pronunciation, the part that's in all capital letters should be emphasized when you speak the name. The dashes divide the word into syllables. Here's an example using a common English word. Telephone. TEH-LUH-FOHN. And here's another example using a Greek name from this book, one that looks like telephone, but is pronounced differently. Persephone. PUR-SEH-FOH-NEE. Those two words appear similar, but you can see that they sound very different when you say them aloud.